I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this video probably consume a lot of self-help content. You've read books like Atomic Habits and Can't Hurt Me. You've watched videos by people like Matt D'Avella or Ali Abdaal. You've listened to podcasts like the Gary Vee Audio Experience or Feel Better, Live More. And the truth is that a lot of the information that is conveyed by these different sources or these different creators is very much the same. I'm sure you've come across a video that conveys a message that you've already seen in another video and you think, why is somebody else making a video on this topic? There's already a much better video produced by a high quality YouTuber. I don't need to see, this much worse version. Or is that just me? I'm not saying that it's not valuable to have content creators producing information about similar topics. In fact, I'm actually saying the opposite. And that's why I'm trying to create videos about personal development and self-help. I think it's super important that we have every topic imaginable repurposed and reanalyzed by different content creators who produce their version or their message summarizing this particular information. So there's three main concepts that I want to talk about today about why I think it's so important that there's so many different content creators in the same niche, particularly in the personal development niche. Interestingly, these three components also cover the different ways in which we as an audience can connect with a particular message and why we find it easier to connect with some messengers compared to others. They are the concept of unique messengers, finding your tribe, and being at the right stage of your journey to truly relate to that message. There's this phrase that one of my favorite YouTubers, Ali Abdaal, has used in some of his recent YouTube videos and also on his podcast, Not Overthinking, when he talks about this concept of unique messengers. I'm sure he's stolen this from somewhere. In fact, I know for sure that he's credited the author somewhere. Anyway, the phrase goes something like this. There's no such thing as unique messages, only unique messengers. Majority of the content that we come across is not unique. You've probably already seen it in one form or another. What is unique about the content that you see is the actual messenger themselves. Each messenger has their own kind of story, their own experiences, their own context, and their uniqueness kind of allows you as a viewer to connect with them. Despite the fact that the message that you're seeing is something that you might have already seen before, the fact that it's a unique messenger producing and conveying this information to you means that it might resonate with you more than the last time you heard it when somebody else produced this same information. And that's one of the main values that I see in having unique content creators. One example where I've seen this in my own life is when I learnt about the true value of discipline. So growing up, I've always been told, it's really important to be disciplined. You've got to study hard, work hard to become successful. And I've tried to do that. I've tried to work hard throughout my life, but I never really understood why it was important. And even more recently, I started watching some YouTube videos about, what it means or what it takes rather to become successful. And, going through these, I still kind of felt like I was just touching the superficial level. I didn't really get this foundational understanding of why I needed discipline. I mean, obviously, if you work hard at something, you're going to become successful. But I don't know, it didn't really resonate with me, and I didn't feel inspired or, motivated, even though, as Ali Abdaal says, motivation's a myth. But nonetheless, I didn't really feel like I connected with this message that discipline is key. Until I discovered Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. The journey that he goes on and the hardships that he faced, and reading this story and the way that it's written, I don't know, there was just something about this story and the way that he emphasizes trying to master your mind and trying to defy the odds. And he's done some amazing things, and he's just another person like anybody else. So it really kind of struck a chord that if you are disciplined and you are consistent, and if you work hard, then really you can do whatever you want. You can become whatever you want. And that was kind of the message that I got from the book that I hadn't really gotten from other sources. And that's why I think it's so important to find a messenger that resonates with you. There's a realization that I came to not so long ago when I was talking to my mum about a few different things. So let me just set the scene. She was about to have a phone consultation with a GP, and prior to this we were just talking about the importance of lifestyle, me lecturing her because she wasn't doing enough of it in my eyes. And so I was giving what I thought was solid, well-constructed arguments about why I believe she needed to, do more cardiovascular exercise, more weight-bearing exercise to improve the quality of her life now and into the future. And this is like a conversation that we've had on a monthly basis, probably ever since I started medical school. And after all this time, she still hasn't done it. And it's only very recently that I realized that I was very much the same. She came to me and told me different ways that she thought I should live my life, different things I should do, different habits I should try, different resources I should consume. And I'm sorry if you're listening to this, Mum, I never did any of them. The funny thing is, we then got the same information from other sources. So for her, it was some Tamil spiritual guru on YouTube. And for me, it was also a godlike figure on YouTube in the form of Matt D'Avella. And we both would listen to the advice that they gave. So for me, I decided to start meditating, and for her, she started to do a little bit more cardiovascular exercise. If you've lost me on this long and convoluted anecdote, the main message that I'm trying to convey is that we're more likely to listen to people from the same tribe as us. When I say tribe, I mean people who share the same values, the same opinions, the same beliefs as us. If we can find these people, then the messages that they share are more likely to align with our worldviews, and so we're more likely to listen to them. Now, I'm not saying that you should only listen to people with the same worldview as you. You need to broaden your horizons a little bit more than that. But inherently, we're all going to gravitate towards people who share the same beliefs as us. And so that's why I think it's so valuable having so many different YouTubers creating the same kind of content in this personal development sphere. They each bring their unique experiences, their different demographics and values, and so this affects which people are going to listen to each of them. So for example, Matt D'Avella, I don't know, he's like between 30 and 40 probably, and he appeals to somebody of my age, but somebody who's, 50 might not want to listen to somebody like Matt D'Avella. They might want to listen to somebody who's a little bit older than him. So it just is based on your values and your opinions. And so that's another reason why I think it's so valuable to have so many different YouTubers creating similar content in this personal development sphere. The final piece of the puzzle is that we as an audience need to be at the right stage of our journey for a message to truly resonate with us. Another advantage of having different creators produce similar content in the self-help sphere is that because everyone is at a different stage of their growth expedition, the content that they produce at a particular point in time isn't necessarily going to be the same. Over time, if you look at all the videos that they create in their journey, on YouTube as a platform, for example, it might be the same, but because they're embarking on these journeys at different points and they're at different stages throughout the journey, the information they produce on any given day isn't going to be the same. And the benefit for us as consumers is that it means that we're more likely to see this information at multiple times throughout our own growth journey. And with the law of probabilities, the chances are that if we are looking for a particular piece of information in a certain area, then we are likely to find it because there's just so many more options, because so many YouTubers are creating similar information at staggered time intervals. So I've just been editing this and I realized that what I just said might have sounded like a lot of mumbo jumbo. So hopefully I can create now a much simpler and easier explanation to understand. So say you've got three creators, creator A, creator B, and creator C. and they're each producing a video about a similar concept. We'll say discipline, for example. Creator A produces it in January, Creator B produces it in July, Creator C produces it in December. Say you've just kind of heard about the concept of discipline today, and so you log onto YouTube to find out more about it. Chances are you probably won't see Creator A's video because the algorithm won't put it in front of you, and also because at the time that Creator A's video was released, you weren't ready to hear that message. Likewise, you won't see Creator C's video because it hasn't been released yet. It's only going to be released in December. However, chances are that you'll probably see Creator B's video. That's another advantage of having multiple creators create content around the same idea. There's this quote that I'm sure you've all heard before that's attributed to a bunch of different people like Buddha, Tao Te Ching, and some of the early theosophists. That's a new word for me too. That basically goes something like this: when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I think that this nicely summarizes this concept, because when you're on your growth journey and you're seeking for a particular piece of information, it will appear before you in the form of a YouTube video, say if that's the platform that you're using, because so many creators are producing this content in different time points. And so, I think that quote nicely summarizes that idea. So that's it. Those are the three main reasons why I think it's so important that there are different YouTubers creating similar content in this self-help sphere. I deeply believe that self-growth is a key component of the human experience, and I really enjoy learning more about the human condition and producing content about it, and kind of deconstructing the thoughts I have and synthesizing them into hopefully logical kind of thoughts. And it's one of the reasons why I'm starting to make videos in this kind of sphere of personal growth and self-help. I really hope that some of the content that I produce is able to resonate with you guys. It goes without saying that all of this information doesn't mean anything if you don't kind of act on it and incorporate it into your own life. And there was this piece of wisdom that I found in the YouTube comments section of some random video that said something like 80% of your time should be spent, actually doing something, practicing the skill, and only 20% should be about learning about it. I think often people in the personal development sphere, at least, kind of get hung up learning and trying to find out every little tip or trick that they need to know in order to become, successful or happy. But in reality, you probably already know the information that you need to know in order to live a happy and healthy life. Now, if you're wondering who I am, my name's Kajanan, and I make videos about medicine, personal development, and maybe tech in the future. So if you want to see more content like this, then please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Please also like this video so that other people can also, see this content and help it reach more people. I'd also love to hear below in the comments section about the different creators that you have found most resonate with you, and what particular things about them do you find that you particularly like. Another YouTuber that I like, Captain Sinbad, kind of ends his videos in this similar way.
To us I say, greatness is coming. Cheers.
And I've decided that I also want to create something similar when I produce one of these personal development videos, because I think that his ending is really powerful and it kind of makes you want to, go out and do that thing. And so the way that I would like to end my videos is by saying this: for any of you trying to find your way in life, stay disciplined and stay positive. You are successful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.